أجمعين باعث الأنبياء والمرسلين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيب إله العالمين وطبيب نفوسنا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم صل على محمد. لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين روحي وأرواح العالمين له الفداء واللعن الدائم على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It seems you are hungry. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahsant. Well, I just missed a page of this. Ahsant. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin. Maybe more salawat needed to find this. The whole. Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. This is the verse in chapter Naml from verse number 29 to 32. This is the story of Prophet Sulaiman and then the queens of Saba. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. اذهب بكتابي هذا فألقه إليهم ثم تول عنهم فانظر ماذا يرجعون. قالت يا أيها الملأ إني ألقي إلي كتاب كريم إنه من سليمان وإنه بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألا تعلوا علي وأتوني مسلمين. قالت أيها الملأ أفتوني في أمري ما كنت قاطعة أمرا حتى تشهدون. قالوا نحن أولو قوة وأولو بأس شديد والأمر إليك فانظري ماذا تأمرين. Okay. This is, or these are actually the verses that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us the dialogue initiated between Prophet Sulaiman and then also the Queen of Saba. So I inshallah will have a reference to these verses to talk about something which is more relevant to women's presence in the society, and to a little bit maybe moderate the kind of patriarchy thinking and mentality of men. And this is very important because, well, as Muslims, we do think that we have an upper hand, we are the master of everything, even in reigning and ruling over women, and then in so many cases we're depriving women of their own rights. But then today I want to share with you this specific critical title, as it is related to the role of Fatima Zahra Salamullah alayha as well. So we were talking about Lady Fatima Zahra, then today I want to elaborate on that. I want to explain the details of her presence in her own society, in her own time, to have a kind of flashback at that time of the history so that we'll understand that women are not limited and restricted to the level that even today we bring about for women. In the time of Lady Fatima Zahra Salamullah alayha, well, it was more restricted, although the ideal position of women was manifested in the personality of Lady Zahra Salamullah alayha himself. Recite the salawat, please. Allahumma salli ala. So what I want to do today, I will come up with a whole Quranic idea about the social presence of women, and then later on specifically I will talk about the social presence of Lady Fatima, inshallah. So this is what I want to do today, and then I hope that time would also suffice the issue, and it would be adequate for us to cover the details that I want to share with you today. Dear brothers and sisters, we do not have any woman in the history of prophets. We do not have any woman as an imam and leader, Islamically speaking. We do not accept women as the presidents of our countries and nations. We do not accept women as the judges in the courts. These are actually the rulings that we do have in Islam, in our jurisprudence, and we cannot deny them. But it doesn't mean that women do not have, astaghfirullah, we seek refuge to God to even mention it, that do not have any value in Islam, or they are inferior to man. The very witness that today I want to share with you is the story of the Queen of Saba, of course. And then how gentle she was behaving when she confronted the letter from Prophet Sulaiman. This is actually very important as a queen. So we'll find that her behavior has been confirmed in Islam. In Quran is the book that has been revealed to Holy Prophet. So if we want to truly understand the Islamic position and stance for women's rights and women's presence in the society, we have to refer to Quran and to see the verses of Holy Quran. Now the verses that I recited to you. So she received a letter from Prophet Sulaiman. What was the letter about? So Prophet Sulaiman told her, and then of course her nation subsequently, that you have to surrender yourself to me, but gently. Sometimes I will say you have to submit and surrender yourself to me, and you have to do it. If not, I will, for example, do so and so. But sometimes I say, so as a prophet of God, you have to surrender yourself to me. And then it is for your own interest, it is for your own sake, it helps you, for example, in that respect, and then the guidance of God has been put in this way. This is what. So, what would be, now I ask you this question, what would be the reaction of me, already having a great position in my own nation and country? So I'm like, already I have been respected my own country, and then if I want to surrender myself to another superior person, to another king, it means that already I will be put subordinated. Then I have to be submissive to that person. I have to just be like a servant. Would you accept that? Had you been, for example, in her place or not? So this is actually very important. Just put yourself in her place, or let us put ourselves in her place, that we are the kings of Saba, for example. And then we'll receive a letter from Prophet Sulaiman that surrender yourself without any introduction and dialogue. It was the first letter commuted between the two, and then she received the letter from Prophet Sulaiman, and then, okay, now this is what should we do. Already the fame and reputation of Prophet Sulaiman was spread and extended across, because, well, they knew already Prophet Sulaiman is God. His influence not only over ants, but also over jinn. Not only over jinn, but also over the winds, over the nature, over the animals. They all are submissive to Prophet Sulaiman. So they are completely submitted themselves to Prophet Sulaiman. So it's not easy to tackle, also have this in our mind. So now Quran is telling us the story. She received it. قالت أيا أيها الملأ إني ألغي إلي كتاب كريم. So I remind of another story also for Alhamdulillah. We do not have our Iranian friends today with us, except one brother that also you have been converted to be like Kuwaiti one, so don't worry. I remind of the letter from Holy Prophet to Hozourbakhsh, the Iranian king. Okay, so he received the letter. What was the reaction of him? As Prophet also sent him the letter, now submit yourself to the Prophet. So we have one reaction of the king, for example, in the Persian emperor in one part of the history, and then also the reaction of this queen of her own community in another part of the history, in another era. So these are completely two opposing reactions. So Hozourbakhsh, for example, just torn it apart the letter harshly and then in a very aggressive way. But then she said, look at her own literature, her own courtesy. So this is very important, because right now they received the letter, then we are like a friendly talk. Then we can say whatever we want. There is no any presence of Prophet Sulaiman. قالت يا أيها الملأ إني ألغي إلي كتاب كريم. Means now I've received a very important letter from a good position, from a good person. Now this is a very gentle, for example, letter that I have received from a dignified person. This is very important. Now I'm showing from the beginning, from the initial step, the respect to that letter. And this is my reaction. This is very important. So Quran is trying to convey that message that she had a very gentle reaction to that letter. Then, إِنَّهُ مِنْ Sulaiman, I received this from Prophet Sulaiman, this letter. وَإِنَّهُ بِسْمِ اللَّهِ الرَّحْمَنِ الرَّحِيمِ. Then it has started with the name of God. So means that, okay, it has got consequences. Means, okay, if we are going to listen to this letter, means that you have to forget about right now the position and the situation, circumstance that today we have, but we have to maybe accept what Prophet Sulaiman wants to give us. Allah ta'alu alayya wa'tuni muslimin. Do not resist against me, and then come to me peacefully, and then submit yourself peacefully. Okay. Now you are a king, I'm a king, and then you will receive this letter. What would be our reaction if we were in her position? Well, I think there is no guarantee if I want to take my own example, but then I think 60-70% I would resist, honestly speaking. So anyhow, then she said, قالت يا أيها الملأ أفتوني في أمري ما كنت قاطعة أمرا حتى تشهدون. So she started now grabbing and then counseling with her own let's say comedy and counselors, the ones that they were close to her, seeking the consultation with them. So this is very important now. She did not have this kind of dictatorship to dictate her own position over others. So this is also very important. So she is actually in Quran a very good example for a just queen. Okay, so at the same time she has been confirmed. So it means that then sometimes we can ask about it, sometimes we can discuss about it, if she could represent the successful, model of a queen. So it means that women also, according to Quranic perspective, they have this potentiality and power also to have, to a certain extent, the leadership. Okay? Although maybe it has been also limited just because of the nature of women, because leadership is not something very easy to be tackled, and then it is not very easy for women also to handle it, and then this is not very comfortable and convenient according to their nature, and then we cannot really deny that. We can psychologically speak about it, no problem. But then my own understanding is that, well, the position of leadership is harsh. To lead the community, it needs sometimes the nature of a masculine, let's say, person, a being. So to have that as well. So it was an introduction to our topic. I wanted to let you know that Quran will bring about the verses about the women's role in the society. So we cannot just restrict ourselves toward those some few jurisprudential verdicts and laws that we do have in Islam saying and depriving women of their own rights. While we'll see these notable verses, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us the truth about the reality of the nature of women. So we cannot just reject these kind of verses. Recite a salawat, please. And then if you just follow the verses, you will say, قَالُوا نَحْنُ أُولُو قُوَّةٍ. So the counselors, the ones like commanders, army commanders, and the ones that they have been consulted. So they said, don't worry, coming with the reaction of a man to the issue. Don't worry, we have the power enough, we have enough soldiers, so we can resist. But then whatever your decision is. So she decided to submit the nation to Prophet Sulaiman. This is also very important. So men sometimes cannot make a dialogue, whereas women are very successful in building up cooperations. This is also something that we see in this specific verse in Holy Quran. Then this is a fact. We cannot deny it. We cannot always say, oh, men, they are good, perfect, and women, they are not. No. This is 21st century. And then even not 21st century, brothers and sisters. It is more than more than 2,000 years ago that we can say this literature has been, this is a dialogue that has been embarked on more than 2,000 years ago, in the time of Prophet Sulaiman, then coming all the way, yes. So Quran is giving us a kind of praiseworthy verdict about what we can see in this verse. Okay, now this was a general introduction. I want to now delve into the personality of Lady Fatima Zahra Salamullah Alaiha. Now let us have a good understanding about the situation of the Arabic or Arab Peninsula. So we do have the Zaman al-Jahiliyyah, we have the ignorant era, and then the ignorant era, different forms of marriages. If you just go and read the history, you will find that women not only did not have voice, they were accounted as nothing, for example, in the society. If you read, for example, what Ibn Khaldun in his introduction to his philosophy of history, you will find some 2-3 pages he talks about the nature of Arabs. So I don't want to disrespect, but this is what Ibn Khaldun has mentioned about that specific definite era, that period of the time in the Arabic Peninsula. So bloodshed was something very normal among the tribes. And then in this, for example, very traditional, let's say, maybe traditional sometimes will give us a good connotation, very biased, stubborn, let's say, society, then can you imagine, for example, a position for women and ladies? Of course. This is something that we have to have in our mind if we want to more in detail know about what Lady Fatima al-Zahra salam alayha did. And this is, of course, by itself very important. I will let you know. Now I will jump over all the history. We just pass over the lifetime of Holy Prophet, that almost 60 years. And then we will come after the demise of Holy Prophet. What happened? The story of Fadak. All of us have heard about the story of that land and garden. So suppose that the caliph of Muslim community, who has been announced by a group of people to lead the community, will take your property. And then what is his excuse for that, or justification, let's say, to take your property is that prophets do not have any inheritance. La nuwarrithu al-anbiya means that, well, anbiya do not inherit anything for their children. So no one can inherit anything from anbiya and prophets. So this was, and then it has been justified. I mean, publicly people really accepted this kind of justification. Okay, now you are a person. I mean, you are Lady Zahra. Now, I want to give you a real position and real situation of Lady Zahra salamallahu alayha. You are living already in a family that your husband has been deprived of his own right. Means already Ali ibn Abi Talib has been put into seclusion. He's been put into isolation. He has not been accepted by at least that Jama'ah of Thaqifa. So now you know the reaction of the people, what it would be or what it might be. And at the same time, I mean, the second accidents or the second event is to take your land and property from you. Okay, so already your husband has been isolated first. Second, you will go with your husband for 40 nights, like what Ibn Abul Hadid he has mentioned, to doors of Muhajirin and Ansar's houses to say we are those people that you pledged an allegiance in the Qadir Khum. In that Hajjatul Wada you did it. And then to remind people of that. And then what is the reaction again of the people saying that, oh Ali, you are just thinking too much about this dunya. Just leave it. Then Ali ibn Abi Talib himself has mentioned in some of the sermons of Nahj al-Balagha, what should I do with you? Last night I told you about the people that unfortunately the real danger of the society is these ignorant people. If Ali ibn Abi Talib is going to define his own rights, they will say, okay, why you're too much in dunya? Why you're too much just thinking about dunya and then your own position? If you just say, okay, live it, I don't want. They say Ali ibn Abi Talib has been feared. He is now scared from the enemies. What should I do? We'll come to what Luqman told his son while they were just taking their own donkey. You have heard that story. Then whether we just, both of us, to ride this donkey, or we have to just pull it, I don't know, you go and ride it, I will go and ride it, you know, we don't know where is that satisfaction of the people. We don't know. Ali ibn Abi Talib was a star. Okay, now I'm telling you the situation. So first, Ali ibn Abi Talib has been deprived of his successorship and caliphate. Second, so they went to encourage people to come to the truth, not because of the position, because this is the right path, because they were responsible for that, to encourage people to return to the truth. Again, they have been rejected and denied. This is the second. And third, your land and property also would be taken forcibly. So these are happening one after another, and you're depressed. You think that, wow, there is no any support. It seems that I have lost my dad, and the Prophet is not among us. Everything is just reversed. This is the feeling that I might have personally. So sometimes I've tried my best in order to really put myself in that position. It's unbelievably hard. So you lost your dad, and then these incidences are going to happen one after another. Very bitter situation that I cannot imagine beyond that. You have to be very strong. You have to be very resistant. And then we have a sensitive, like a Rayhana to Rasul. We have like a flower, like a sensitive fruits of the tree of prophecy, like Lady Fatima Zahra, and then she has to tolerate this situation, not only tolerate, but at the same time coming up with a proper reaction to it. Now, I have selected for you what Lady Fatima Zahra Salamallah alayha did when she went to the mosque to address the public in her own famous sermon and khutbah. That is full of wisdom, that is full of noble statements, that is full of inductions, judgments, arguments, reference to Quran and everything. Please refer to the book Ihtijaj, written by Allama Tabarsi, volume 1. The section that he will talk about Ihtijaj Fatima Zahra ala Abu Bakr. So you will find it, there is a section there. And then the khutbah has been mentioned. There are also other sources as well. But then I went through this source today. And then you will find following. So here, Lady Fatima Zahra salam alayha did not keep quiet in this specific example. Now we're talking about the example of Fadak garden that has been taken from Lady Fatima Zahra. So what was the justification of someone like Abu Bakr as the caliph? Prophet do not leave anything, any property as inheritance for his own children. So it means Lady Fatima Zahra cannot inherit anything from her dad. And then he referred to a specific tradition and hadith that I've heard, or we've heard from Prophet, to say that there is no inheritance, there is no any earth for the children of Anbiya. So that means you cannot have this land. This is a general property for the public. Okay. Now, Lady Fatima Zahra should react against this justification. People already accepted. The public accepted this justification. Now you have to change the mind of the people. At the same time, you have to resist the caliph. This is not something easy. Now you're in one side, the rest of people of your tribe, your community, your society in the other side. This is very difficult. And then suppose you are a lady, you're a woman, you're not a man. There is a big difference between being a man and then coming to talk, and between a woman coming to talk. So please have all these considerations in your mind. So Lady Fatima Zahra has started list فخرجت فاطمة تبكي فلما كان بعد ذلك جاء علي. So the khutbah that already we have is the part of that I have selected for you. So she will start with introducing herself, that I'm the daughter of the Prophet who saved you, give you this and that. So then he said, and she said, وَأَنْتُمْ الْآنَ تزعمون أن لا إرث لنا أفحكم الجاهلية تبغون ومن أحسن من الله حكما لقوم يوقنون. You mention and you think that there is no any inheritance for us, and then أفحكم الجاهلية تبغون. Are you seeking the rulings like the era of ignorance? Now I'm talking to a caliph in the mosque. Who I'm talking to? Lady Fatima is talking to the caliph of Muslim community in this way. So she has to be very encouraged. It's not a normal, reaction. Saying the caliph of Muslims that you're ignorant. You do not understand. Are you seeking the law of ignorance? The era that people, they completely were in negligence. أَفَلَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Don't you understand? The pain of attention, don't you understand? بَلَا قَدْ تَجَلَّى لَكُمْ كَالشَّمْسِ الضَّاحِيَةِ أَنِّي ابْنَتُهُ. For sure and indeed, and certainly you know that I'm a daughter to your prophet, and I'm his daughter. أيها المسلمون, O Muslims, now addressing the community of Islam. Now you just imagine and then you assume yourself in a position to address the whole Muslim community. أغلب على إرثي يا ابن أبي قحافة. So this is actually very important, and I will tell you why it is important. أغلب على إرثي يا ابن أبي قحافة. So, do you want to deprive me of my own inheritance, O Ibn Abi Quhafa? So this is actually very important. Sometimes I will say, O Caliph, O Majesty, O Your Excellency, as a respect. Sometimes I will call you by your name, O, for example, Brother Kalim, O Brother Behzad, O Brother Madahir, O, and then with your title. Sometimes I will call you by your own background name. Ibn Abi Quhafa means you have been originated already from a family that previously you were into such a business. Go and read. I cannot just explicitly mention what is the background behind this kind of address. The way that Lady Zahra Salamullah is addressing the Caliph of Muslims, Ibn Abi Quhafa means I'm the daughter of the Prophet, you are Ibn Abi Quhafa. Means you are the son of Abi Quhafa who was into that specific business. Reminding you of your own background. Don't just misunderstand actually what is your root and what is my right and my root. Now I'm taking to the Caliph. I'm just telling you all these details to understand how courage she was. أفي كتاب الله ترث أباك ولا أرث أبي. Now are you telling me something that my prophet did not receive? Your fathers received it. My father as a prophet of God did not receive this revelation, but then you are saying something that did not reveal to my father but revealed to your fathers? لقد جئت شيئا فريا. You have come with a very strange idea and a kind of innovation and bid'ah. Atrocious, we can say also. أفعلى عمد تركتم كتاب الله ونبذتموه وراء ظهوركم إذ يقول. And then here she will start arguing against the Caliph of Muslims. So brothers, see, let me give you this explanation. Sometimes I'm the lecturer and Shaykh here. So they call me as a Shaykh, but in reality Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. But then you as a person that, well, some of you, or maybe one among you, or maybe none of you, just imaginary, did not study the seminary in Hoza. I've been into it for brothers almost 20 years. You haven't been into it even for a single year. Now you want to come and then you want to start discussing, for example, about the existence of God, for example, and then arguing against me. I will say, brother, sister, go and study a little bit, then come to me. What are you talking about? I've been studying all these questions and answers 10 years ago. Do a little bit, and then if you're not persuaded, come to me. It was so much like the time of Imam Sadiq alayhi salam. Some of the atheists would come to Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, wanted to argue directly with Imam Sadiq. Imam Sadiq, okay, now, first please argue against my pupils. Then if you just defeat them, it's so much like it defeated me. means your level is not like my level. Not as a sense of arrogance, no. This is the reality, means that is enough for you. Then here, everything has been changed. Who is Abu Bakr? He is the caliph of Muslim community. He is the head of Muslim community. He has to have this understanding of religion. But then a lady who is at the same time has got the same importance is just arguing against you in the public, referring to the verses of Quran to remind you of your mistake. This is shameful. This is total embarrassment. Because if I'm to represent Prophet in a society, directly after him means that I'm the most or the closest person to understand Quran. Now I'm making a mistake, and then I've been reminded by a lady in my society. It is total embarrassment for a person. Now I want to just draw your attention to this pity. Recite the salawat. So she said, don't we have this verse in Holy Quran that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned, وَوَرِثَ سُلَيْمَانُ دَاوُودَ وَوَرِثَ سُلَيْمَانُ دَاوُودَ means Prophet Dawood was a prophet. Sulaiman was also a prophet. So if you say that Prophet has mentioned there is no inheritance from any kind of prophet, Anbiya, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already mentioned that a prophet inherited from another prophet. So what do you say about that? Already Prophet Dawood was the father of Prophet Sulaiman. He had property, and then a person and his child all took the inheritance from his dad. Quran is telling us. Now come on, argue. Answer to this. وَقَالْ فِي مَقْتَصَّ مِنْ خَيْرٍ. And then, not only that, she came up with another verse. So she said, when Prophet Zechariah was talking to God, إِذْ قَالْ فَهَبْ لِي مِنْ لَدُنْكَ وَلِيًّا يَرِثُنِي وَيَرِثُ مِنَ الْيَعْقُوبِ. Prophet Zechariah said already, give me a son, Yahya, so that he will inherit from me and then from Yaqub. So this is the second example. Now what's your answer as the caliph of Muslim community? Now this is not something easy. I mean, you have to have that wisdom of Quran. You have to have this understanding of Quran. You have to know that Quran is and then arguing against the most important person in the society, like the Caliph Abu Bakr. Just have all these understanding and details, and then you will understand this is not easy among all those men that they were of high claims, but empty ones. And then he said, he did not have actually a very response to that. Then she came up also, just to finish this quickly, she also said that, well, this is not, this, I said that, for example, this is inheritance and something just to accept your objection, but then your objection even is not true. It's not even earth. It's not inheritance. My father gave it to me when he was alive. Okay? This is a property. And then you know the story. Abu Bakr said, okay, you have to bring your witness that your father gave this land to you while he was alive. If you just bring your witnesses, no problem, I give the land back to you. Then the system itself, by itself, is problematic. Because then Ali ibn Abi Talib has confronted Abu Bakr and said, in this kind of judgment there is a problem. We will bring our witness. And then Ayman came, Ali ibn Abi Talib came as the witness to that gift. But Ali ibn Abi Talib said, already you are judging against what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is judging based on. I mean, your base is completely against. You're Muslim. You're the caliph. So what? Ali ibn Abi Talib said, okay, suppose that a person has got the property in his or her hands, and then the person is coming to claim for it as well. which one should bring witness to the court? Me, that I have the property in my hand, or you that you're claiming the property? Abu Bakr said, of course, the second person who's claiming for the property. So why did you say about Lady Fatima to Zahra that already she's got the land in her own hand to bring witness? These are the facts, brothers and sisters. And then it shows actually the active presence of Lady Fatima to Zahra salam alayha. I can tell you more, and then this sermon needs a careful attention of yours. The way that she refers to Quran, the way that she argues against the Caliph of Muslim, magnificent. And then, so what we can conclude is that women, they do have a weight in the society. So we cannot always say, okay, well, Lady Fatima was, for example, at home, and then she was not doing anything. What's this? It's so much like that my wife will go and then talk to the president of my own country, brothers. This is not very easy. This is, I think, that the highest level of presence in society. Thank you very much. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to hasten the reappearance of 12th Imam. Sorry to bother you and then to make you exhausted. But then these are the facts that we have to know, and then we have to finish our days with a good understanding of this mirath, this heritage that we received from our ma'sumin. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to heal our sick people, to accept the intercession of Ahlul Bayt in the Day of Judgment. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Wa sallallahu